Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the CB Baker Show, and I'm your host, CB Baker. Today we got a doozy for you, and I highly suggest that you sit down, go grab a piece of paper, and take a lot of notes, because if you want to get in the passive income game of real estate, this is the man right here. Mahn is going to give us his background and how to get into real estate and how to play the game of real estate. So welcome to the show, Mahn.
Thank you for having me. My name is Mahn. I am Diven Real Estate Group, and we are an investment team helping investors grow their portfolio. We do residential sales, commercial sales. And I'm happy to share anything that will help everybody get into real estate.
So how did you get into real estate?
Honestly, one day I was driving home. I used to work at a convenience store and serve tables also. And I saw this sign that says, make money in real estate, 5K to 10K a month. And I called the sign and attend that seminar. That's how I got to learn about real estate.
Right.
And when I did that, I had a lot of fear of not having that confidence when you don't have any knowledge, because those seminars, they just give you the basic level of everything. So I started just studying and keep trying and failing at first. And that was how I got to know how to invest in real estate.
All right. So this is crazy, because the reason why I say this is crazy, because everybody driving sees this sign on the side of the road, make money, real estate, just, the little yard sign, and you actually called the number and went to it.
Yes. So it was a 3-day seminar with one of our local investors, and he's actually great. His name is Scott Jelinek. And as his story started the same way, he was cutting grass and he got into real estate and his life changed.
All right. So when you got into real estate, what was your initial investment?
So when I got into real estate as a salesperson, my initial investment was mostly education, and then the rest of it was some marketing materials. But real estate investment part of it, which a lot of people call wholesaling, that one cost me about $1,000 to get signs. You might see the We Buy Houses signs here and there. So some of those signs, and the rest of it mostly was a burner phone and just keep calling people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you was cold calling people?
Cold calling people off the newspaper. That was my first strategy. I would go on newspaper, find the houses for rent, and just call the people, ask them if they're selling their house. And if they say yes, great, I would meet them. If they say no, I would ask them if they want to buy a house, and we will put them in our buyers list. And when we find a property, we could go back to them and sell it to them. A lot of them are investors constantly buying properties. So
I want everybody to really hear this. You went and got in the newspaper. And this is very proactive. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, when you're running a business or you're chasing your dream, you got to do the work.
Sure.
Like, you literally went down a newspaper, places for rent, and called the number and sold them on, hey, do you really want this rental property, or do you want to sell it? And then if you can actually buy it and then turn around and either flip it or rent it, turn it into rental yourself.
True.
Or pass it on to another investor.
Exactly. So that's what we would do then, because there's so little of initial investment that you could put into your business because you just get started. But now we purchased these leads. We purchased like 15,000 leads, where like with all the phone numbers that we could just reach out to all of those people. Well, when you first start, it's just, you gotta see where you could find all this free stuff. For example, if you wanted to find buyers, we would go to the court at the court auctions. If you wanted to find seller leads, we would go to the court and find probate leads, tax delinquents leads. So the opportunities are everywhere, and everybody have access to them. It's just a matter of what drives you, and are you willing to take that action and go out there even with as little as knowledge that I had about real estate when I first started.
Right.
It was just a matter of going out there. We'll figure it out.
Wow. Because I have read in books about, people like playing the middleman game. Like I have no money, but I can get 10% off a deal if I was to go find a deal and give it to an investor.
True.
So that actually exists.
Yes, we that's a very good business model. Okay, because our goal in our business, as far as being a situation solution company, now I have a great partner that works with me. He's very good with what he does, but it's just a matter of people who are in that situation that they're willing to give their property away at a discount rate. They really need your help, and it's really fulfilling to be able to help those people and turn that property into an investment or give it to another investor who would put money into it, make the community a better place.
Right.
It's just a great business. I enjoy doing it. Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna ask a question. So you started out with this basic $1,000 to get the signs. Where's your real estate company at now on sales or acquisitions or just plain old revenue for the year?
So, the real estate company, I have 11 salespeople, and they're amazing people, and they constantly push me to be better. And we have that culture of where we help each other out. So we have that, and we have Chris. He's our acquisition team. Like he partner up with me on finding different properties. So going from starting by myself, it's little or no money, and now we're to a point that it's 12, 15 of us with the support staff. And this all happened in like less than 2 years.
What?
Yes. And
wow.
As far as revenue wise and closing, we do really well. Like this year, I could say as a team, like we're almost close to, I might be wrong, but close to $10 million in sales.
Wow.
Which is not bad because we have a lot of new agents just joined us. That's pretty good, but we're constantly growing, and we just find a new challenge, to get it. Like our newest challenge is, everybody's telling us there's no REO accounts out there, which is like the free listings that the banks and asset managers, they give to listing agents to put on the market. So it's a great way of generating business. So since I started, everybody was telling us there's nothing left, there's you can't, and which is true. Well, our challenge was to go out there to get these accounts, even like we've been in the business for just maybe 2 years. And so we finally today, actually, I got the email this morning that we got our first REO listing. Before that, we just signed a couple of accounts with people that we had to travel. We have to constantly call them, and we've been after it about 6 months. So it's just the people that we brought in together as a team, they all love to take on challenges. And that kind of set us apart from everybody else because we have that mindset that we want to all win. You can't just come to us and say there's something you can't do, because my whole team is going to, kind of back me up, and we're going to go after it and make it happen.
Yeah.
So that
is an amazing story. From yourself, $1,000, read newspaper, cold calling people, in 2 years, getting over $10 million worth of just acquisitions and product selling and everything. That's amazing. That's a great story. Now, the crazy thing about this is me and you linked up through Grant Cardone and the 10X Grow Conference. And because we were in the same area, and then we was hashtagging stuff, and then we ran across each other, then we started talking. I wasn't in the real estate game. I'm in the leadership and goal planning, game. That's the game that I'm in.
I enjoy your content.
Yeah. Thank you. So it's just weird. Like you hear about stuff and you see stuff, on the internet, on YouTube and stuff, but you don't halfway meet people that's actually doing it.
Sure.
that makes it real, that makes it tangible. So it's really good to see somebody that's actually took the information and did something with it. Because you know how I know. A lot of people get a lot of information and they take it, but they don't do it. Requires action.
Action. Sure.
Yes. So now let's talk about the game of real estate. What about it on the internet is real and what about it is fake?
So there's thousands of different strategies, and to be honest with you, they all work.
Okay.
Right. But, if you want to go after all of them, none of them, they're going to work. So my suggestion is if you starting in real estate with zero money to just a little bit of investment up to $500, you need to go after wholesaling. Wholesaling, there's a lot of ways for you to generate income and help somebody out with, that little income. Like there's one way that we were doing was we would just go on people's property and knock on their door. So these were people that they're in pre-foreclosure. So you can get these people and help them out because you can help them to be out of that situation. So that's a great way to start it. If there's another way for you to actually buy properties and add them to your portfolio and have cash flow, you could do that with subject to. So you buy the property subject to existing loan. Again, you find a homeowner who's behind on their payments, but they have equity built up in that house and they don't want the house anymore. So you can just take over their payments. So you buy the property subject to existing loan. You're really not putting any money down or anything.
So you just went in as a group and assumed the loan?
Yes, basically. So you can do that, and so you can start getting properties. You get them cheap because there's equity in there.
Right.
And then the sellers are motivated, so they will accept it for you to just cover the monthly payments, and you can turn that property around, put a tenant in there and start having cash flow without doing anything, and you own a property now. Or another way that we do is when we assume their loan, we'll just go ahead because the bank would give us about a 30 days break to not make any payments. During that time, we renovate the property, put it back on the market and sell it. And we only pay for the renovation cost.
So what does that normally, say a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, what would that type of renovation look like?
Renovation. So the ideal property for us to renovate is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and over 1,200 square feet. So we never want the smaller house or the biggest house on the street. And the 4 bedrooms, 2.5, they're also really good. Renovation, it really depends what you're doing. To give you a scenario, we recently bought a property in Hampton for $47,000. Right? And this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but it has a lot of space. And we building a bedroom, changing the whole floor plan, adding a full bath, and doing the all renovation for $50,000. And the good thing about the game of real estate is that it cost us about $11,000 to do that whole project. Because of we could leverage other people's money,
right? And
with that, it's just like great.
So basically, did you get a loan for the $97,000 with the $11,000 down, or how did that work? So you basically got a loan. Did you get like a hard loan, or did you go to the bank?
No, I've never dealt with bank. I actually deal with private lenders. Hard money lenders are very expensive, and they want a great amount of money and closing costs up front. But if you have private lenders that they're confident, they see your portfolio in past and they see the success that you have with other properties, they're willing to invest in your projects. And those are the ones you could get the rate from 5% to 10%, no monthly payments, no points and closing costs up front, and still make a good amount of money. Because when you're flipping houses, everybody gets paid, and whatever is left over is yours. So you want to be careful. There's hard money lenders out there, they charge 14, 15%, which is really high.
So, so it seems like the unicorn is the private lender. So where are these unicorns at?
They're everywhere. When I got into real estate, people were telling me these private lenders are everywhere. And these are people with money that the money is sitting in the bank, making 0.003% on their saving account, right? So they actually losing money because they don't know, saving money doesn't work anymore. You need to have that money working for you. So we would constantly network with people. We go to these networking events and ask them, hey, or we have a place on our website where it says invest with us, explain our processes and how it works.
Right.
So we get the money from other people. So leveraging their money, give them a return back. So they're making more money and we pay less interest and they're easier to deal with. Giving you a scenario, if I go to a hard money lender and ask for a loan, a lot of them, they're going to do an appraisal. Every time you ask for a draw for your money that you pay the contract and get it back, they're going to do an inspection. They're going to charge you points up front. They're going to charge you monthly payments. Or with a private lender, you could work out a deal. We'll say, okay, in 6 months, I'll give you 5%, 6%, and I'll pay it to you after the 6 month is done.
Right.
And they don't want any processing fee or any of that stuff. So every money you could save. So it's really great for you.
Wow. So I hope everybody listening and watching is go ahead and just rewind that part and take notes, because you're giving out real good game here on being able to get into real estate without any money. It's like what you hear on TV all the time, but you're actually are doing it. And so what happens? All right. So now you got the property, you've renovated it. So now when it comes time to sell it, where does the money disperse from there?
So the way that it works for us to run the numbers, we run everything up front. You have good business, good properties if you pay attention to good numbers. And we have a saying that, you make money in real estate when you buy, not when you sell. So we make sure we calculate all the numbers up front. Our after repair value is, for example, 175, purchase the property at 47, put 15 to it, you're at 97. It costs us 10% for the loan. So if you're, for example, at 110, closing costs another 10, 120. And if you can sell the property at 175 with all the other costs at 120, you're at, I don't know, $55,000. Wow. I did the math right. It's just everybody else gets paid. We turn the ugly house in on the street to a beautiful home. Right. And we earn revenue for it.
So your goal is to turn this around in 30 days.
That's impossible for a project like that. Yeah. For the ones that I told you, they're pre-foreclosure. Usually people are living in there, so they're not in bad shape. Right. So they're just like cosmetic work. We go in and paint the cabinets, change the flooring, do paint touch-ups and all that stuff, and turn around, put it back on the market in 30 days. But more like projects that start costing more than $40,000 and up, they usually take about 2 to 3 months. And
that still ain't bad.
Yes.
Right. I mean, 3 months flies by. Like, it's October. We're going to blink and it's going to be Christmas. We'll be at the mall Christmas shopping. So 3 months is nothing.
Yes. So we could build a house in 3 months, or, because if you have the right team around you, this is very important. And I learned that the hard way. Like my first year in the business, I lost, thousands of dollars working with the wrong people, right, trusting the wrong people. But, you could learn a lot of stuff from people, from books and everywhere. But that never gonna be that experience that you have. Right. Yeah. So I mean, I found I have a great team, and I just got to find these people by failing so many times. Like we had contractors that stole $19,000 in stuff that ran away. We had people that in different scenarios. But every one of those lessons that I learned in the first year in real estate, it kind of helped me to get in touch with the right people and do my business the right way so I can, have less losing and more earning. Yes.
Right. So the interesting thing that you mentioned is the losses that you took, which turned into lessons. And that's also a lot of times people don't want to go through that part, which is still a necessary evil. Like you're not going to be this, unless you're just complete natural and got, boatloads of money.
No,
you're going to have a situation where you're going to fail. It's just a given in anything new that you start.
True.
So let's talk about single family versus multifamily, because we both follow Grant Cardone, and he is like, leave those single family homes alone. Go multifamily. The more doors you have, the better off you are. He's always now. He started out when he was talking. I followed him for years. It was 8 doors. Now he's like, don't even do anything unless it's 32 doors. It's like, come on. It's like, I can't keep up with you. But what is the major benefit from single family versus multifamily?
I totally agree with him on the multifamily situation. It's definitely better because I believe there's always demand for multifamily, even when you want to sell it. So I believe the best strategy to make money with multifamily properties are if you buy value add multifamily property where you could buy it at $500,000. The value's at $750. You put $100,000 work into it, run out all the units, have a good management team on your property, and then you refinance it, pull that cash out, and go buy another property. So instantly you are making money off your own property, and then you have a rental property right now. And the good part that where he talks about, which I believe is absolutely right, you make one improvement on the whole building and you already improve all your 4 or 5 units. And the level of business that he does right now, and actually called his office, we had a 100-unit portfolio in Virginia Beach that it was on the market. So I called his office trying to sell them that. And they said, no, we don't touch anything under 250 units now.
Wow.
So it's just nowadays what I see is coming, and you could go Google this new businesses coming up, like the shared space workplace and or the shared housing that you just rent out rooms in each house. There are services that they do, especially in bigger cities. People like that, the single family home, it's a great investment, but when the market goes down, I believe the prices on those, they're going to get a lot more hit than the multifamily, because there are always people want to rent out those multifamily units.
And plus, at the end of the day, when the housing market has a hiccup, the people move out and they go into multifamily.
Exactly.
So I'm totally with you on the multifamily deal. Now, here's the main question that everybody is wondering: like, how can we participate in this whole thing? Like, real estate is blowing up. Everybody's talking about it. Trying to create wealth. How can we participate?
You could create wealth in real estate. And this been life-changing for me. You need to look at real estate as a tool, right? It's good to have a business and grow it, but for me, personal real estate is a tool in order to invest my other business ideas. And it's real estate is a contact sport. The more contacts you make, the more money you're gonna make. So this is what I tell my team when we meet up. It takes me, and these are just like, random numbers, but the idea is really helpful for people want to kind of just make those contacts to homeowners or buyers. Let's just say I make $7,000 after 200 times of calling, right? And now I know that every 199 knows that I'm going to get a yes. So I changed my mindset from, oh, I'm scared of hearing no, I'm scared of rejection, to every no is getting me one step closer to hitting my numbers. And now I break that $7,000 into 200 pieces, which is $35, example. So now every time I call a prospect, now I'm prospecting different type of, clients. Now I'm prospecting agents or investors.
Right.
Every no that I hear, okay, that's $35 in my pocket. That's another $35 in my pocket. Right. So it all builds up to that $199. Now I get the yes, that's $7,000. I close the deal. Boom, I'm happy.
Right.
So, if you could learn that the consistency in real estate is very important, and you need to know it's a numbers game. You know the numbers, you win the game. You don't know numbers, you work with investors, flippers, and agents. The most successful ones are the ones that they pay attention to details, and they're consistent. 87% of the people who get into real estate, they fail their first year, and the reason is that they get emotional. Like this, the first, when you get into real estate, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of emotions involved, and if you cannot put that emotions on the side, just look at it as logic, learn your numbers. I'm going to make this certain amount of calls, make this certain amount of contacts, and do a certain amount of letters, door knocking, and it's going to generate me this result. And if you could do that constantly moving forward without getting emotional, you can win the game.
Yeah. I had a guy, I'm going way back here, when I was in a football game, I was playing a football game, and we literally ran this one play. Like 3/4, we got nothing. The coach kept calling the play. I never forget, we was in the huddle, and the quarterback said, guess what? It's this play again. It was called 56 ISO. I was like, Lord have mercy. And I played guard. Mm-hmm. So my position, I had to go and hit the middle linebacker and block him. For whatever reason on this particular one, the game was like 10-7. We was down by 3 points, and we was on our own 20-yard line. They blitzed the linebacker. So literally when I got up to the second level, there was nobody. The running back ran 80 yards in 2 minutes to go in the game, and we won the game. But we literally ran the same play. And when you telling me that reminded me of just be consistent, know your numbers, play your game, and then it will eventually work out. That is, I can't tell you how many times I've coached people on that same concept. It's like, just, you're going to fail at first, but just keep going, because how you people say, there's nobody on the extra mile. If you just keep going, and like David Goggins would say, that run your race and go the distance.
True.
If you go the distance, most likely you will make it, and be successful. But most people quit before they even get there. So what is normally the barrier? Well, we kind of talked about this already, the barrier entry for real estate, which what you're saying is really nothing. If you're able to go find time, I guess, is the barrier.
You don't need anything to get into real estate. I mean, you don't need a real estate license to start, doing the investing part or owner financing, or there's a lot of opportunities in our market. It's unbelievable. Okay. And I'm not a talented guy. I don't have anything special, gift or anything.
Right.
What I do, I love to win. Right. And if I see you doing better than I do, that's a challenge for me. And if I see you, for example, if I see you like closing on this many houses, right? Mm-hmm. Or build a bigger team or doing more volume that I do, I just figure out what you're doing and I do it better than you do. So if you're waking up at 6, I'll wake up at 5. If you're reading one book a week, I'll go read 2. If you're calling 200 people, I'll go and call 400 people. I enjoy winning. I enjoy taking risk. Real estate is there's a lot of stress and up and downs involved in it. A lot of people don't like that, but actually I enjoy dealing with those. I enjoy finding those problems for people, for transactions, and solve them. That's something that I enjoy doing. And now I have a new passion. My passion is just help my agents to transform their life. That's our mission statement. We want to build a company that is, is based on generosity, is based on in generating results and creating life-changing businesses for real estate professionals that they join our team. And I don't do a lot of sales now, right? So because my whole focus is to be a good leader and how I can help someone, going from what they are, going from where they are right now to what they want to be. And that fulfillment is very important for me. Yeah.
Man, you could probably tell I was over here smiling because, you perked up when you started talking about winning, that you love to win and how you go win. You basically win it by dominating, like, what are you doing? And I'm going to do it better. Flat out, period. And if I can't do it better, it's not going to be for lack of effort, And now how does a person that's a real estate agent or that wants to get in the game, how can they join your team per se?
They could always reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'm always available. Or they could reach out to any of my team members. We have a website they could check out. We have a YouTube channel they could check out. They could reach out to me on social media, whichever.
In all of which I will put in the notes section.
Great.
So for the links for everything, so everybody can come and see what you're doing. Because, I enjoy your content as well.
Thank you.
It's I follow a couple other real estate guys, but yours is real good. And you've answered all of the questions that I've had that people will have to sift through a bunch of noise to get. You gave it straightforward to the point. This is what you need to do. Now, there's one other question that I want to ask because we're in Hampton Roads area.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the hot market right now in Hampton Roads in the 7 cities?
Hampton.
So
there's very low inventory of investment properties or opportunities in Virginia Beach, and because of the low inventory, you have a lot of competition, and people are buying properties for $10,000 in return, which is, you have a lower market day when you put it back on the market and sell it. But Hampton, I would say, is the number one place, basically based on what I know, and it's easy to find deals. There's good amount of money to be made. You don't have that many competition. And a lot of people don't want to travel going to the other side of the water if they live on this side.
Right.
So if that's the case, Portsmouth is also doing really well. And, people just say, Portsmouth has a lot of properties that they need to be developed. So you could go out there and find these properties, and there's investors. We work with over 150 people on our database that they're actively looking to purchase properties. So we find anything, we'll sell it to them. Yes.
So, all right. Now the cliche question, is billboard 264. It's blank. You can have anything up there that you want written on the billboard on 264 for 6 straight months. Mm-hmm. What are you putting up there?
Is it going to be about me, my business, or about what message I can have?
A message you want to give out to the world. For the people on Think Bigger.
Yeah. You can't believe how much this could change your life. Me going from living, a couple years ago, I only had $200, living with my friends sleeping on their couch. I never had the mentality or mindset that how your life could transfer from that to a point that we have almost $10,000 a month only on business expenses, right? So it's just the mentality of how big you think. The bigger you think, the bigger your actions are gonna be, and the bigger you think, the bigger opportunities you're gonna come across. And if you put the action into it, you just get lucky. And some people, they might see you say, "Hey, this guy's lucky," but no, we have our, we have a big vision. And we break it down into plans of actions, and we just keep doing that, and we do get lucky. Like some people might say, hey, you guys are lucky because, you found this property that it's a great deal, right? But no, like we have that mindset, okay, we have to hit this certain amount of properties, and this is how exactly they look like. This is like, if I close my eyes, I can see that type of property, that type of opportunities. Now, who are those people holding my money or holding my opportunity in their hand? What are those type of people that I need to go after?
Right.
And then we go after them and we find those opportunities. So it's always the matter of what I need to do, who I need to talk to, and what the opportunity look like. And we see it, we take action to get it, and we get it.
That's what's up. Wow, I'm ready to get out, hit the street, and get some business rolling. Thank you, Mahn, and thank you all for listening. I hope y'all take great notes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to the channel. If you're seeing this on IG, make sure you hit the subscription, the notification button, so you get a ding when stuff like this happens. Save this, bookmark it, because you're going to need to go back and read through and listen to the notes. And thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate for having me. Hopefully we can do some business.
Yeah. All right, this is your host, CB Baker. Till next time. All right.